Everybody knows I was in this group. I've been out of this group for a year, so for the people who don't know me, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about my background and how I came to be where I am now. I'm the group's, as I said, I'm Nancy Marcotte. I'm the group's caterer. I run a cafe off of Industrial Way. I've always loved to cook, and when I was young, I would choose recipes from cookbooks and self-teach myself how to make them. With my grandmother, I always watched Julia Child on TV, and I always wanted to be her. She was one of the first TV cooks. I always gravitated to restaurant work and eventually opened a takeout and catering business with my ex-husband in Westfield, New Jersey. We turned this tiny space into a 24-seat restaurant, and within 3 years, we renovated an old bank building and turned it into an over 100-seat restaurant with a liquor license. At the time, we were a top-rated New Jersey restaurant, earning an excellent from the New York Times, 4 stars from the Ledger, best of the best from New Jersey Monthly, a 26 GAT rating, and we also got some other awards. We were a fine dining restaurant, which pretty much means cooking everything from scratch using only the freshest and finest ingredients. After we sold our restaurant, we moved to Spring Lake Heights. I got divorced, and I started my catering business from my kitchen. And the way I started it was I put a business card in the Co-Star, which is a local newspaper that is the coast, like from Avon down to Brielle. And when I say I started a catering business from my kitchen, I'm not talking about the kind of kitchens that I cater parties in, which are the most gorgeous kitchens. They're like professional kitchens that are never used. Mine was a small Formica countertop little kitchen with a 20-year-old GE stove, and that's how I started my business. Completely, probably illegal, because it was not a commercial kitchen, but I had to make a living, and this is what I did. So what I'm going to tell you is, after I started the business, all the people that I catered for and started for then for my kitchen are still customers of mine 15 years later. One of the first jobs I got was an elderly woman who asked me to cater her grandson's 30th birthday. She is now 101 years old, and I am still every year catering her Christmas party for her family and her opening of her pool party in May. And I also there's another family every year I cater 2 parties for at Christmas time, and I've seen their children grow up, and they always say to me, when I think of Christmas, I always think of you because you have been part of our family for all these years. And also there's, a woman that comes from New York every year. She has a home in Seagirt, and she entertains every weekend, and every weekend I do her catering and a big party for her at the end of the summer. And this summer is really touched because I really couldn't do the work, and I did finally cater her Labor Day party, and everybody at the party toasted me and said that how they had missed me and they had to eat bad food all summer. So it was this ad in the Co-Star in this little place that made it possible for me to move out of my home. I moved to the Old Mill Plaza, which is in Seagirt, New Jersey. The property was sold after I was there for 4 years. The new owners wanted to renovate the mall. We were all given notice to leave, and that's when I found Cafe Christopher. So at that point, I really kind of changed my whole business plan, because I ended up in this cafe in an office park, and I said, I'll just simplify my business and serve breakfast and lunch, soup, salad, sandwiches, Monday through Friday, and that's what I'm going to do. Well, and I did that for a couple of years. But as most of you know here, in January of 2014, I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And I had the most aggressive treatment available, and I felt like I was poisoned, slashed, and burned, which pretty much was what I was. So during this time, I was spending most of my time in bed or on my couch, and it gave me a lot of time to do research, alternative treatment methods, and I became very interested in nutrition and which foods, herbs, spices, vitamins, etc. affects your health on all levels. The research really opened my understanding of what role food plays in our health, and right now I am presently enrolled in a culinary nutrition course, and I continue to learn and grow in this knowledge. So now this leads me to the next step I want to take in my business. I'm pretty much going back to my beginnings, which is catering more, and I want to back to all the respect I had for food when I was starting out, and I want to change my my life from everyday retail to a more specialized catering venue. I can cater. I still do catering. I can cater. I can make chicken frances and penne alla vodka, just like everybody else. But I am more interested and I'm more inspired in wholesome cooking, and I'm ready to bring to the clients that have always been at the heart. Bring all this to the clients that have always been at the heart of my business. Cooking for health should not be a specialty. I intend to cook fantastic food and offer menus that are not only delicious but nourishing. Since I make all my foods from scratch, I know exactly what is in each dish. I offer and can offer like grass-fed meats, organic poultry, organic produce when available. The GMOs can kill you in these products. Gluten-free meals, dairy-free, sugar-free. I look at dietary restrictions as a creative challenge. It's cooking with integrity and being mindful of the responsibility of bringing whole natural foods to the table. I want to be able to give my clients choices. What I notice at most catered affairs, you pretty much have the same menu all the time. It's usually chicken with some thick sauce, penne with tomato or cream sauce, eggplant rollatini, farm-raised salmon, some kind of carving station, sausage peppers, rice with tiny little shrimp in them that come from Thailand. It's always the same stuff. Or Vietnam, that's where the shrimp is coming from these days. But I am able to offer an alternative to that. I've sourced local fish because a client asked for it. I've done grass-fed and organic wild-caught fish and meat. If somebody wants organic, I can do that. I make sure that anybody can eat what I prepare at any event, because there is nothing worse than going to a party or an event that has this big buffet and there's nothing you can eat on it. And there's so many people that have dietary restrictions now. I know people who eat before they go to a party because they know that they're not going to be able to eat anything that is being served to them. So my goal is to be able, and I actually do this now and always have done this through my catering, to have whole, good, nutritious food. Because I believe that all food should be nutritious, colorful, and delicious. So I see that I only have a minute left, so I think that I will open it up for questions. Yes?
Can you do kosher?
That I don't do because I don't have a kosher certified kitchen, but I do offer in my store right now from Dougie's. I don't know if you're kosher. It seems to be a famous kosher place. They bring in wraps in sealed packages that I can sell to people who need to eat kosher, and I do that. But I cannot cook kosher food. Yes?
Not a question, but a testimonial. We needed sandwiches for our post, and we went to Casa Bacon Cafe for them, and the crew loved them. And when you were a bit out of commission last summer, they went, "Where were those sandwiches we got?"
Thank you very much.
They'll be back next year.